As it's common knowledge to many by now, the internet is full of many different communities and fandoms that are spread across the entire World Wide Web. There are a lot, to say the least. One of the most toxic and degenerate-filled communities has to be the anime community. Today's video topic is a member of this community, a YouTuber named Desu. And I'm just gonna be completely honest here, guys, this guy fucking stinks.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Desu is an anime commentary channel who makes some of the most dogshit content I've ever seen in my entire life. He joined the YouTube space on August 22nd, 2016 and would immediately start making videos. His content is relatively simple and is incredibly bare bones. His content used to be just a simple photo of some anime girl that usually looked very young with Rev's annoying ass voice talking about some shitty article or some shitty take someone made. His videos would also have some chill, upbeat music playing in the background. His videos are so fucking bad they're impossible to watch. His recent content is more VTuber centered. He even has his own little anime avatar that's a lolly. More about that later. I may hate his older style of content, but this new content is 10 times more shitty, man. It's just him talking about some stupid tweet with his VTuber avatar on the screen. But now there's zero background music, and that simple itsy bitsy little change makes the videos even more unbearable than before. He also is just generally annoying. Like, holy shit, this motherfucker says the word cancelled so much, and it gets on my nerves so damn much. I'm sorry, but this random fucker with like 3 followers who isn't a fan of some random anime shit is not trying to cancel anything. They're just stating their opinion on the internet. Usually these opinions are people showing disdain for lollies and lolicons. For anyone out of the loop who doesn't know what a lolicon is, consider yourself lucky that you're just now learning of this. Lollies are a type of anime character that are very childlike in appearance and mannerisms. Lolicons are people who are sexually attracted to these types of characters and defend being attracted to them. This is a problem because sure, it might just be a 2D fictional character, but it's still a depiction of a child. So lolicons are attracted to children. At least, fake children, fictional children, whatever you want to call it. It's really fucking disgusting. Rev is a lolicon. He defends lolicons and lolicons because for some reason he finds it his fucking life duty to defend them.
It amazes me that you can accuse someone of being a pedo over a term you don't even know the definition of. I'm sorry you found out the character you like is a lolly, but stop watering down the term pedophile and do something that might help real victims.
He uses this excuse a lot, and I do mean a lot, and it's so fucking stupid. I hate to break it to you, but saying that it's okay to be attracted to lollies because they're fictional, and it doesn't hurt real people, is just not true. By saying it's okay to be attracted to a depiction of a child, you are in turn saying and normalizing attraction to children, which is fucking disgusting. You are normalizing something absolutely filthy and incredibly wrong by doing this. Also, this whole do something to help real victims, or how about you care about real victims, is just fucking disrespectful as hell. I'm sorry, man, but you using victims' pain and trauma as an excuse to jack off to Paimon from Genshin Impact is just fucking filthy. It's disgusting and incredibly awful of you to do. Rev likes to claim that lolly is just a term for short, petite, and flat-chested women. You know, shit like that, but he contradicts himself later on in different videos when he starts defending lolicons and their attraction to children characters. It's just really gross, man. It also seems like Rev is just generally not a fan of the LGBTQ community, you know, the whole gay folk. He has some of the absolute worst takes when it comes to LGBTQ issues and representation in Japanese media. A good example of this would be back during the Guilty Gear Bridget situation. If you didn't know, the game Guilty Gear Strive had gotten a new DLC in the form of a fan-favorite returning character called Bridget. Her gender was changed to transgender female, a trans femme, when in previous games she was a feminine male. This obviously upset anime Twitter because they just really hate trans people for some reason. So they started to claim that she was trans only in the bad end, and that this isn't the original Japanese version, it's just localizers and blah blah blah. It was really dumb and annoying, like incredibly dumb and annoying. It could really just be summed up as bigots being bigots, transphobes being transphobes. Anyways, during this whole thing, of course Rev was covering it, and he was clearly on the side of Bridget not being trans. He was calling trans people who were just upset at bigotry hypocritical and a hate mob for no reason.
Embarrassing as it is to see people still citing the email like it's the Bible to prove that Bridget isn't trans, It's even more embarrassing to see the unhinged behavior of people pointing out that the email has been discredited by the game's staff.
And then, even after Bridget was confirmed to be a trans woman, he was super passive-aggressive about the whole thing, claiming for it to be sloppy writing.
But nonetheless, this conclusion is pretty in line with the narrative of my previous videos, the confusion all arising from sloppy writing.
Thing is, I don't believe that for shit. I genuinely just believe Rev is transphobic or just like slightly has a thing against trans people. He seems really obsessed with femboys and making sure that those damn localizers don't continue their trend of femboy erasure. Yes, people actually believe that's a thing. I know, people are stupid. There's also the fact that some of his quote-unquote jokes are obviously mocking trans people. Like for example, this tweet.
I finally have the courage to share this. A few months ago, I encountered Dreamo walking at a park. He aggressively approached me, proceeded to misgender my dog, and began throwing Dream Funko Pops TM at a group of school children while hissing and growling. #Dream_out.
Wow, Rev, that's so original. Where did you get that joke from? 2016? It's been years since I've heard a joke like that used unironically. What is your issue? To give the benefit of the doubt, maybe I'm just being a sensitive little bitch here, you know? But like, even if I was, this just proves my point that Rev is painfully unfunny. Rev lives in a fantasy world and it's just sad, like holy shit, it really is pathetic. What really pisses me off though about Rev during this situation is not only that he was just clearly being a bitch about the whole thing, but that he really sucks at doing his fucking research. He is a piss poor journalist, man. Now some people like to consider Rev a commentary channel, but I personally have to disagree because his shitty content falls more in line with commentary journalism, a subgenre of the commentary community which is more in line of covering articles and online culture discussions. A good example would be something like an anti-SJW YouTube channel that thinks they're top shit. You know, the most annoying type of content creator out there. Yeah, that's what Rev is. And just like these content creators, Rev does barely any research and talks out his ass for God knows how long in these videos. Which is a very big problem, especially since his audience is full of a bunch of loudmouth, angry, childish children loving man-children. He also barely gives any proof to the claims he makes in his videos. A good example would be the one of his most recent video, Onimai's Bridget reference sparks more controversy. My bad if I said the name wrong, I don't give a shit, but you know. In which he covers people talking about a Guilty Gear reference in a very gross anime about a boy that is turned into a girl. Now, to make things clear, I am not a fan of this series and I honestly find it to be very problematic. It is full of Shotokan and Lolicon material and is also just really weird. The creator of the series obviously has some, let's just say, odd and weird fetishes. All that isn't very important to my point though, I'm just stating it just in case someone picks up the wrong vibe or something. Anyways, in this video, not only does he seem legitimately annoyed that anyone would dare claim that his precious little Lolicon anime has any trans representation in it, but whenever he talks about people getting mad or over-exaggerating, he just doesn't show any examples of this. Like at most, he'll show some bare bones stretching the definition examples. Yo fam, editing liquid here. I'm here to interrupt the video because guess what? I was looking back at this screenshot when editing and Rev censored the word transphobe. Bro censored that shit like it's a slur or an offensive term and like bro, wanna talk about that? Dude? Why'd you censor that, man? Also, as of late, Rev has dipped into the Hogwarts Legacy drama, specifically with Silverell, which, if you didn't know, Silverell had done some things that trans people weren't too happy with, and I'm not here to talk about that really, but the word trans was banned from her chat logs, which is pretty bad, you know? Like, that's not very good. And then Rev tried to make the massive claim that, oh, yeah, this is just Twitch autoban, hee. And then that was disproven multiple times, yet nobody listened at all. And he still stands by this claim in his video, which is less than a week old at the time of recording this. He shows some shit in the beginning and that's it. Fun fact about these screenshots though, the final one is actually a screenshot of a very loud and open transphobe. Being on the left, I naturally kinda sympathized with oppressed minorities, and when the LGB thing was going, I thought it was pretty great as a youngin'. Then they added the T part to it and I was like, huh, that's much different. Why are we doing that? Was too scared to say it though. I wonder why Rev of all people would specifically use this example. It's like he doesn't put any actual effort into his videos, but he also just doesn't care for or like a certain group of people. Look, I don't like to throw accusations like this out there just willy-nilly, especially since I don't know Rev personally. I'm not one of Rev's friends. For all I know, Rev could be the biggest LGBTQ trans gay ally out there. But based on how much little effort he puts into his incredibly one-sided videos, I doubt that's the case. Rev says Desu is a horrible content creator and a complete weirdo who shows support for disgusting people and disgusting imagery. His audience is incredibly toxic and immature, and he's the head honcho of it all. Rev says Desu is a horrible content creator. Pretty simple. Tell me what you thought of this video in the comments below. Tell me what you think of Rev in the comments below. Tell me anything in the comments below. Tell me what you had for breakfast for all I care. I love to read them. I really hope you enjoyed this video, but it's my time to head on out. See you in the next one, guys. And that's where this video originally ended, but in the time it took for me to eventually release this video, some more things happened. Rev is still dick riding Silverdale, but that's whatever really. But recently, Assassin's Creed Shadows was announced to be starring a black samurai named Yasuki, who is based off of a real-life man who has been heavily theorized to be given the role or title of samurai based on the many interpretations that art of the time had given him. As you can guess, neckbeards who live in their mother's basement and alt-right grifters are furious at this, claiming it to be unrealistic and woke garbage. Rev made 2 videos on the subject so far, and of course he's putting himself up as a fighter for the representation of Japanese history. This is funny because not only does he, a white cis straight man, claim that a white woman is trying to rewrite Japanese history,
A white woman trying to rewrite Japanese history here. Very surprising.
ignoring the fact that this game is a total work of fiction loosely based off of real events. What's even funnier is, to most definitely avoid racist allegations, he chooses to pull up a video of a black man defending Rev's side of the argument. There's nothing wrong with a black man disapproving of this besides him being blatantly wrong when it comes to Japanese history. I just find it funny that besides people from Japan, this is the only other person he uses to defend his point. Not a single white, Hispanic, or other type of person. It's almost like Rev is trying to avoid being accused of racism. Then, at the end of the first video, he whips out an image of Ubisoft's European stock market outlook. It's funny because he tries to blame the controversy behind this game even though the stock market is constantly shifting. Ubisoft fell off a long time ago, and that some places are better for stocks than others. Also, after they fell, they skyrocketed back up. Trust me, this is just how stocks work. But of course, Rev doesn't know shit about stocks or shit about anything. In the second video, he starts it out by saying that it's odd that the game takes place in feudal Japan, yet stars a black man and a woman.
Release. A lot of people are a bit confused seeing a game taking place in a feudal Japan setting and the 2 main characters end up being a woman and a black man.
I just find this odd because he acts like it's shocking for a black man and a woman to exist, which is weird because obviously they did exist in feudal Japan because immigration is just a thing that has happened throughout history. Who'd have guessed? He then pulls out a specific tweet of a Japanese person making fun of the fact that the only people who disapprove of Yasuki are cisgendered white American chuds. To counter this, he then pulls up the likes on the Japanese version of the trailer, pointing out that the trailer is getting piss poor reactions there as well. Believe it or not, Rev, a lot of people who aren't Japanese watch the Japanese trailers. A lot of them dislike it for reasons besides it having a black main character. Some people in Japan just really fucking hate Ubisoft like here in America, where white men live. White men like you! It's not right of you to speak for or over Japanese people, Rev. Then he spends the rest of the video complaining about game journalists and defending Asmod Gold, and then he specifically calls out a genderqueer person and says they're insane.
Interesting point. I don't know what's going on with this account here, but their crazy claims here kind of add up when you look around.
It's genuinely just a video full of awful takes after awful takes. A year has passed since I cancelled the release of this video, and yet Rev is still the same hypocrite degenerate he's always been. Thank you for watching this video, and thank you for hearing me complain about such a character. I hope you all have a splendid night.